Good afternoon, everyone. Today, who is Group General Manager from Plenitude Berhad to have a sharing session with us. We talk about why foreigners should invest in Malaysia.
Why foreigners? Actually, Malaysia is a very stable country, politically, economically, as well as very set rules of law as far as property is concerned. We are a British colony. We use the Torrens law system. So wherever a person buys a property, they are given a land title, and they are given ownership of that particular the property that they buy. It can be leasehold, it can also be freehold, which they can hold in perpetuity.
So you see, there are so many countries in Asia. So how can you see the property markets of Malaysia compared to other countries in Asia?
Okay, in Malaysia, relatively compared to Southeast Asian countries, we are still very cheap as far as property value is concerned. If you take the similar kind of property that you have in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, for example, you may be paying 3 times, 4 times the amount in places like Singapore or Hong Kong, for example. But if you compare it to places like in Bangkok, you may be paying 1.5 times more, or in Manila, the same thing. Okay, so Malaysia relatively very cheap for foreigners to invest.
So in other words, we can say that the investment in Malaysia is more worth in the value.
I would say more value for money.
More value for money, yeah, for the investment purpose.
That's right.
So we know that things haven't been great in 2016, like Malaysia ringgit depreciating, and then the economy is slowing. So is it 2017 is a good time for purpose for the investment?
2016 is not only Malaysia.
Yeah.
Nothing has been great for Malaysia. It's not only Malaysia is concerned. The world has what you call experienced a volatility in the petroleum price, which affects other economic activities as well. So there is a slowdown globally to a certain extent. Malaysia is a little bit more volatile, is that our ringgit has depreciated. But that's a good thing for Malaysia. For foreigners, it becomes cheaper because they buy more ringgit with their dollars. That's, for example, US dollars at one point was 3.8,
Yes.
now it's 4.5.
Yes.
So you actually get more ringgit with your US dollars. So to them, investment in Malaysia, it becomes cheaper.
So although that our economy might be not so good, but for them the investment purpose they value again, for
Yes,
investment.
That's right. So the question is that is 2017 the right time to go in? Looking at things that is happening today, there's a stability in the petroleum prices. Economic activities is picking up. Our ringgit is still low. So I would say 2017 would be a better time to come in than if you have done it in 2016.
Okay, so sure they have rules and regulations for the foreigner to invest in Malaysia. Shall you share with us what's the rules and regulations?
Okay, rules and regulations as far as land is concerned is actually governed by the state. It's not governed by the federal government. The state government has got their own specific land laws. Take for example in Penang, a foreigner can buy landed property of 2 million and above, strata property of 1 million and above. Okay, in places like in Johor, a foreigner can buy a landed property from $1 million and above. So there is a difference between, depending on where you are investing, you have to check the particular laws regarding ownership, foreign ownership in that particular state, in order to decide. Take for example in Selangor. Selangor do not allow foreigners to own freehold property, landed property, landed freehold property, but they can buy stratified properties. So that's a lot of variances.
So they had to do the research on which state they are going to invest first, right?
It's not difficult to do the research.
But from what I heard from you, it's quite liberal, the ownership of a property, right?
Yes, it's very liberal. Anybody can buy. It's only a matter of the value.
Yeah, so is it any rules that state that which type of property that they can actually own or cannot own in the state of rules, is it?
Like I say, Selangor only has got the rule that the foreigners cannot buy freehold property, you know. But in other states, there is no such rule.
Just, yeah, again, research.
Yes.
So is it any property titles that foreigner need to know before they invest?
Okay, in Malaysia, basically there are two types of title, you can say. As far as tenure is concerned, you either have a freehold property which you buy and hold in perpetuity until you sell, and the leasehold property which gives you a tenure of 60 years, 99 years, or 999 years. Okay, these are very old leasehold titles that was issued long time ago. But commonly today, leasehold titles are 99 years. So there's only two types of tenure. Then from the titles itself, there is a distinction between landed freehold and stratified freehold, and landed leasehold and stratified leasehold. That's basically it. There's no other so-called other category or anything like that in Malaysia.
Yeah, sounds simple.
Very simple.
So is it simple or is it very difficult for them to go through the buying process of the property
No.
for investment purpose? No.
It's not. It's very simple. In actual fact, our conveyancing lawyers in Malaysia are so used to foreigners buying, and especially those that is practicing in Penang State.
Yes.
You know, they will tell the buyers all the rules and regulations, and we are very professional as well.
So because they are so used to it, so it makes everything so simple, right?
That's right.
So how is there any tips that they can actually buy at a lower price? You know?
Buy at a lower price. Well, there are a lot of ways that you can buy a property at a lower price. It works the same as in other countries as well.
Okay.
Even in their own countries, foreclosure properties are always bought sold at a lower price. You know, auction properties are also at a lower price. And sometimes buying at a lower price doesn't mean that it's the best investment. You know, properties is always location, and value.
Okay. So is it any project in Penang that you would like to recommend for a foreigner to invest in?
Can I promote my company's
Yeah,
product?
sure, why not?
The Marang, right behind me. Fantastic. It's so low density. It's on a 4-acre plot, 149 units only, one individual penthouse, and we have got only two sizes, 1,850 and 1,750 square feet. Both comes with absolutely quality finishing. Every unit has got a sea view. Every unit has got 2 parking lots. And if you want additional storage space, you can purchase as of now, but in limited supply. Marang, if you are looking for a foreigner who is looking to invest and to invest in a smart way, buy the Marang from me.
Actually, I'm very curious about why it's called the Marang but instead of marine.
Because Marang is spelled like marine, but Marang is actually in French is a southerly wind.
Okay.
This Marang itself is facing up to the north, so you get a southerly wind that is blowing to the property itself.
Oh, it actually have a meaningful.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, is it? You want to say any future development of your company?
Well, we do. Plenitude Berhad, a subsidiary in Penang, Plenitude Bayou, owns 100 acres of land in Penang Island itself. Marang is one of our development. We are also developing in Balik Pulau. We also have another 42 acres of land in Batu Ferringhi, and our prime piece is actually in Komta itself, where we have another 1.04 acres.
Yeah, it sounds like all these are great projects. Yeah, right?
Well, it's kind of a little bit high profile, you can say, but we have a mixture between high end, medium end, affordable properties.
So before we end today's sessions, do you have any opinions that you would like to share to our audience on Property Queen? Yeah.
Okay, Malaysia has gone through a change in the property scenes. So for first home buyers, there's a lot of property out there that you can choose, but very pertinent point when you are buying a property is that you must be able to afford it. Choose the location that you want to stay.
Yes.
And the third thing is that the developer is always very important, because whoever you buy from must be able to deliver the property to you. You know, and obviously Property Queen as a website will be able to show you where these properties are, and buying from a property developers like Plenitude, you are rest assured we will deliver you the quality for the product. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kaur, for today's
Thank you very
sharing
much,
session.
Inga.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.